I was diagnosed in 2013, finally, after 2 years of just feeling like I just wanted to lay down and die. I went to doctors across the United States, seriously, from Dallas to New York to Nebraska to Iowa, where they finally diagnosed me. Hi, I'm JoLinda Wilson, and I am an 11-year, almost, stomach cancer survivor. And we did the CDH1, where we're all negative. There's no genetics that would have caused this. I did not have H. pylori. She found a tumor in the sphincter, the little tube, the little ball thing. But they knew that this original tumor needed to go. When Dr. Nosler did the surgery, it was a lot more than we anticipated. And he said, but unfortunately, we're going to have to do a major surgery and talk about chemo and radiation to keep that controlled. My oncologist, he said, I know this is going to sound crazy, but a gastrectomy might just solve your problems for good. And when he said that, might solve my problems for good, that was a big sigh of relief. After the surgery, waking up, that surgery is not for the faint of heart. It hurts. And I'm not going to lie. 4 lymph nodes were positive. And then on the outside of the stomach, they found tons of cancer, but it was attached to the stomach. And then from the top of my stomach to the bottom, it was a big cancer fun fest. And my staging had come from 1B to 3. They wanted to start scheduling me for chemo and radiation. I looked at the statistics a lot. I talked to my doctor a lot. I had this doctor that just was studying all of these statistics and different protocol of treatment. He had just gone to Italy, just returned from Japan. I think that those statistics had a lot of argument for me not to do it. So we sat down and we talked. I thought and I prayed and I anguished and I cried and I laughed. And I decided not to do any chemo or radiation. They took everything that they could inside. They closed me up and said, keep in touch. We scanned for almost 4.5 years. We didn't go to the 5-year mark. And Dr. Moore, at that appointment, he said, I don't ever want to see you again. I'm glad for my decision. I don't know how much more below 93 pounds I could have been. I'm not a short woman. I went from 184 pounds down to 93. The biggest thing that you get scared of is if something gets stuck. It's hard to get into that mentality that you have to chew up this food. And so probably for the first 6 months, I did liquid and then I take some bites of stuff. Things did not taste the same. And so I didn't really care to eat. And plus I didn't want to eat because it hurt. And I think that's probably why I lost so much weight. I looked at myself when I was down to that 93 pounds and I got worried. Like, I got to do something. I got to get some pounds back on. I went to Natural Grocers of all places. They have nutritionalists that you can actually make appointments with. We did, it's a nutrient, it's IP6 with cat's claw and concentrating on nothing but protein, hardly any carbs, staying hydrated, and I cut out sugar. I kept my sugar under 6 grams. Very difficult in today's eating habits. I've mentored quite a few people, probably 10. And out of the 10, I've lost 5. You get to feeling guilty. And you're sad, double sad that they didn't make it. And you're hoping that something you said may have helped, but you're hoping that something you said didn't deter them from reaching their goal. But it's hard when you lose them. We want to see where anybody who has a colonoscopy, which they recommend every 5 years, and then 10 years, then 5 years, that they immediately have an endoscopy with the colonoscopy. All the cancers, it seems like if you have a little bit of money, you might survive it. If you don't have any money, you're not getting that surgery and you're not getting that treatment and you're going to die. And that's why we need to get this funding and get this ball rolling on this early detection for everybody. The journey from now to get it passed, and once we get it passed to getting the word out, is going to be a lot of work for a lot of people. But I believe that it's going to be worth every ounce of energy and work that we can put into it. And hopefully we get to the point where a lot of lives get saved because of the early detection.